dementia researcher with a blog and a rating.
Emotional Labour of Recruitment by Sarah Griffiths. I recently read an excellent article on emotional labour and how it relates to dementia research by Catherine Quinn and her colleagues. As the authors explain, emotional labour is a concept described by Horschild in 2012 relating to the management of emotions within the workplace, specifically managing another person's emotions while striving to regulate your own. The authors synthesize existing literature with their own experiences, present reflective case studies, and outline recommendations for researchers. I found the article highly relatable, as I'm sure other dementia researchers do and will. The concept of emotional labour seems to be about interaction at its heart, and I've been reflecting on how emotional labour can become sharply relevant during the recruitment phase of a research project, when interactions between people with dementia, carers and researchers, at this point strangers, can be particularly emotionally loaded. During recruitment, researchers are often feeling the pressure of timelines and recruitment targets, and may have doubts about whether their research will be successful. Potential participants might be feeling vulnerable, let down by the health and social care system, and cynical about the difference research could make. Already there are lots of emotions swirling about. How can we manage the emotions of others while regulating our own? Managing the emotions of others. First contacts might be on the phone, where people with dementia and carers are calling in response to receiving study information, or in person, perhaps following an exchange of emails about potential participation. Sometimes receiving study information out of the blue triggers feelings of abandonment post-diagnosis for people with dementia and/or carers, and initial conversations are a chance for them to share their distress and sometimes anger. For potential participants, interactions with researchers are often highly valued as a rare opportunity to talk about their lives and their challenges. They may feel a strong sense of connection and hope that the researcher will be able to provide long-term support, not appreciating the boundaries between research and care. I think it helps me to enter into each of these initial interactions accepting that my main role might be to listen and empathise, no matter how keen and prepared I am to explain and answer specific questions about the research and arrange participation. Having a distress protocol is important, including a list of local and national support services to share with people. Having the study safeguarding protocol to hand is also essential. It's important to display unconditional positive regard, for instance by validating people's experiences, and also to carefully judge when to refocus the conversation on the research itself. Faced with understandable cynicism about the value of research, I found it helps to develop a way of explaining the topic by acknowledging that it may seem like a tiny piece of the jigsaw, but it's a powerful piece that could lead to big changes in care and support. Regulating our own emotions. During the types of initial meetings described above, I've felt variously anxious, upset, threatened, worried that the research is actually a load of rubbish, and guilty that I can't offer solutions or offer ongoing support. Masking such emotions is part of the work of a researcher, although how do we know that we've successfully done that? Maybe some of these feelings leak through regardless. Either way, the mental effort involved can lead to feelings of exhaustion. Personality type might be relevant. On the highly sensitive person scale, if this is not straying too much into pop psychology, I'm borderline. I cry easily when watching emotive films or reading books, and can feel other people's emotions very strongly. Such personality types might be particularly attracted to research in the field of healthcare and support. Support for researchers. Recommendations outlined by Quinn et al. 2024 include spacing out meetings with participants and avoiding such meetings last thing in the day, so there's time for debriefing and support from colleagues. This is good advice, and I'm my own worst enemy because I rarely reach out to one of my lone working buddies after an emotionally difficult encounter. I deal with the emotions myself, feel better, and make a note to bring it up at a future meeting as an interesting incident. I have, however, supported more junior colleagues in phone conversations immediately after visits that have left these colleagues feeling uneasy and upset. Emotional encounters are not unusual and probably have a cumulative effect on researchers, so we should find time to discuss them, explore whether we did the right thing, and plan how we're going to look after ourselves. It's not always easy to space out recruitment encounters or avoid them at the end of the day or during non-work hours, as the people we might want to recruit have lives to fit us into. We have the tension of wanting to make sure we hit our recruitment targets. But we should open the conversation about emotional labour in our teams, including sharing recruitment experiences. We should talk about how we should prepare for initial encounters with potential participants, lone working policies and how well they meet our safety needs, healthy boundaries and supervision. Funding applications should build in resources for peer visits so that researchers can have immediate support. And importantly, we need to make sure we have distress protocols that cover researcher as well as participant needs.
Thank you for listening. Join the Dementia Research bloggers and share your own views.